What is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is CryptoVatsik, and I would really appreciate it before we get started if you hit that like button to support the channel. And if you find this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates. As always, this is not financial advice and our opinions only. Let's go. Okay, in this video, I'm going to provide some technical analysis on some altcoins you may not have noticed recently during this bear market. There's always these few gems that outperform the market and have relative strength versus Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the altcoin market. So I'm going to cover a couple of these coins in this video and provide my thoughts on their strength, and we'll look at the market as well as a whole because I think there's some interesting things going on right now. Okay, so right off the bat here, this one first is lazio. I don't know if I'm even saying that correctly, but I noticed this one. I had it on my watch list for quite some time, and I never actually bought into it, but I thought it looked like it was an interesting one at this point. It's relatively new to the market, but I hadn't checked on it in quite some time, and then I came back to it yesterday, and I shared this on my Twitter yesterday, and I noticed that it was doing quite well. I mean, the relative strength on this thing is crazy, right? So, yeah, basically just getting into some of the TA, right? So basically we had this run up. We had a massive break in market structure down here when we started this accumulation area over here, okay? Right in here, obviously some sort of accumulation right there, right? And then our break upwards. So now what we're seeing is basically we had our high, and we've created this range here. So basically I've marked out the wicks, but I've also came from the candle closes here. So basically our high, which is obviously our top area of this range, and then down below to this wick and some some reaction down here as well. So current bullish order block in green right here. We had our market structure break that led to this next wave up, but still really just ranging, and now above this key EQ level right here, where I said it, if we're going to push any higher, then I want to see this level hold right now. That's kind of our key level of SR within this range EQ. And, we've got this diagonal bearish order block up there. So yeah, I could see if we break out of here, yeah, could see another push up to here, but really ultimately just still ranging until we get above this top band of this upper range over here. But looking really nice. I mean, this thing is super strong. I mean, this thing's bullish right now. I mean, it's sweeping lows, it's making new highs, and when you actually measure off the low, to the top, it was almost 800%. Now it's sitting up just 560% area off of its low, which is just crazy. You see that with these low cap altcoins, and it's just something to take note for the next bull run is what coins are doing relatively strong compared to the rest of the market during this, right? You see everything's kind of down, but you see these one or couple few gems just outperforming the rest of the market, right? So it's really interesting to see. I am definitely keeping my eye on this one. I'd potentially wait for some lower prices. I mean, this could just fail down if Bitcoin absolutely dumps on us and the market hasn't bottomed out yet, and we head significantly lower, then I wouldn't expect this to continue crushing it like it is. But who knows? We've seen it already this much, but this nice bull formation, you see these often on these newer coins that get listed, they scream up to some sort of all-time high, and then they just come crashing right back down, obviously listed during the bear market as well, so that didn't help. But then just creating this massive bull formation, right, where you'd expect basically, test of the previous all-time high at some point, but usually you get that once things start picking back up and you get the bull run going. So anyways, just interesting from now, keeping my eyes on it, and yeah, I think this one could have some juice left in it. And super quickly before I move on to the next one, I just want to show you this against Bitcoin. So when I say relative strength, right, basically this is what we're talking about. This is the lazio, same coin, but now versus BTC, and same thing. This is a bullish structure, right? It's breaking out of that bearish market. It is making new highs, new lows, higher highs, higher lows, and continuing to crush it against Bitcoin, right? And actually breaching this all-time. I don't count this the all-time high up here. I count the candle close here. So basically right here, breaching that all-time high, still acting as resistance for the moment. But, it's testing some significant resistance. It's testing these areas already, and we're still in a bear market. So it's just really interesting to see. All right, next up we got Porto. This is an interesting one as well. Very similar situation here, right? We had our low back here in May, and it is 800. Well, it hit 800 plus percent off of that low, and now sitting down here around $5.70 area. Similar situation. We are in this range, and it had a tough time trying to flip it. We are getting this head and shoulders like pattern, so I'm not loving that. And if like I said, if Bitcoin is not done and we're headed to new lows, I would not be surprised if this broke this diagonal and broke the range and then completed this head and shoulders formation pattern. So anyways, yeah, got to stay frosty, and I'd be interested in this one as well. We've had our accumulation and reaccumulation areas here where we broke that overall market structure from here, basically just making higher highs here. And yeah, definitely a bullish formation. So if it does hold this diagonal though, then I wouldn't be surprised if there is some juice left in the tank on this one, on this run. It is testing over here this resistance area, right? So it looked like it had flipped it, kind of lines up within this range as EQ. I mean, technically this isn't the range, but I've just marked out this SR level there, and then obviously our lows down here acting as demand. So yeah, trying to flip it. It might have flipped it at this point. You could potentially take this a bit further down and just take it from that kind of that overall area where this broke down from here and made new lows. So breaking that bullish market structure here is really that key point. So yeah, I mean, on high time frame, zooming out, doesn't look too bad. It's still struggling to get above that area, and I think if it holds and maintains this area around $5, $5 to call it 570, that is quite a large zone. But I think if it holds that, then who knows what this thing can do. So this is USDT, so maybe all-time highs in a bear market. That would be crazy. Again, not counting this large wick up there, counting this guy right here, which it hasn't been able to close above, wicked above it, but hasn't able to been closing above that on the candles. So anyways, yeah, nice to see this again, kind of definitely some sort of bottom here and accumulation areas. And yeah, we'll see. This is another one I'll be watching for the bull market. I won't lie to you, I don't know what both of these coins do. I had done some research a little while ago on some new coins that have been listed that were being talked about. So probably during this bear market, I'll do some more research into them, see what's going on fundamentally. But I usually tend to stick to charts, as you know, and the charts looks good. So and just one final thing before I close this video off is I wanted to point out this on Bitcoin Binance is interesting. So so we are getting down to we've been hovering down in and around this $20,000 area, just below it as well, right? So I've just been noticing that the volume has been increasingly making all-time highs, right? So for the past 4 weeks, it has made a all-time high in volume on the weekly chart here on Binance, right? So keep in mind, this is not across all exchanges, this is across Binance. And for the last 4 weeks, we have made all-time highs right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And before that, I think this one was also an all-time high. Right there was also an all-time high. So basically, steady incline increase in volume, making all-time highs, which I think is very interesting. You ask yourself, is this where institutions are loading up now, where retail thinks this is coming way down further, down to 10K, but meanwhile, institutional money is actually joining the market? You'll notice during their previous bear markets, that is when we got all-time high records on volume, at least on Binance again, right? But back here, we had steady volume throughout the bear market, but then we made all-time highs during this absolute dump, which marked our bottom. And then we also made all-time highs, when we had the COVID crash here, massive, massive volume up here, marking all-time highs, which was our bottom. again. And so it's just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that this is signifying our bottom, but it's interesting to say the least, right? So anyways, that's it for this video. I just wanted to give it a quick update on a couple of these coins and a bit of Bitcoin, what I noticed, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.